Okay, so as I was saying, this is again for number page 479, number 398 for homework. We were picking up stating that once you got this number in green right here and it ended with e-9 or e to the negative 9, it means to move the decimal 9 times to the left. So I was writing out right now in pink what it would look like. And even though we don't have the remainder of that number, we can at least demonstrate this, right? So here is, since I did it in advance, I know how many there are, but you can always count it. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It was 8 zeros before you got to the 3 again. Point, no point, 3, 6, 8, and so on. So there's the 9 places, because if you move the decimal point back 9, if you move this decimal point back 9 spots, you'll wind up back where the original green number is. So that's how you get that answer. And they asked for the first non-negative number, which was, I'm sorry, the first non-zero number, which was the 3. But then they also asked you to round it up. So if you check its neighbor, you realize it's 6, and then you realize has to go to 4. So hopefully this is a better visual, aside from the discussion we were having earlier, in terms of why or how this problem works the way it does. And excuse me, if you count every decimal place from the decimal point going to the right, you'll see that where the 3 is, that's the billionths place. So that's billion with a THS at the end, billionths place. All right. What are the questions on number 398, if any? All right, good. So the next problem, I'm just going to do these in order because even though people scattered them, they all have to do with the proportion. So this is now on page, still homework number 5, but we're now on page, what is that, 543. And we're going to look at together numbers 104, 107, and 110. And as I mentioned briefly when we were discussing about the problems, these types of problems are what they call, yes, percentage. In addition, they're translate and solve. But my problem with this is that after teaching it several times and recalling translation methods and also methods I've learned in class as a student, that you can just use the proportion that I introduced last time, which was the whole is over of equals percent over 100. So I don't have the entire problem written out here for every single problem, or maybe I do, but let me at least do 104 written out in words. So 104, it asks you, what is 800% of 2250 question mark? All right. And you just correspond via color what I have right here. What is, you don't know what that is, so that's the is that remains blank, of 2250. So any number following immediately of is the number in question. A percent is a percent. And the last thing you need to remember is that, remember, with the percent, you don't need to move any decimals when you set it up in this proportion because it's always under 100. So let me color code this fraction. over of 2250 is equal to the percentage, which was 800, and then you're over 100 here. Okay, and then after this, you just cross multiply and solve for x. So the setup, I feel, if as long as you use this proportion, you'll get the answer right every time. Right? Then you get 100x equals 800 times 2250. And then, of course, you divide both sides by 100, and you get your answer, which was, in this case, 18,000. Cool. What other questions on 104 specifically, if any? All right, that's good. We'll do 107 now. 107. Oops, sorry.
I have a question.
Yep, go ahead.
So my 104 is different. I don't know if I'm looking at the wrong place, but on page 543, correct, in the pre-algebra textbook, my 104, or it says 600% of 1,740 is what number?
Yeah, let me double check. Let's pull up the textbook really quick. It's very possible that I could have done it incorrectly or looked at an incorrect problem. So we'll go to recent. Here's pre-algebra. Let's go to 543 here. So 104 is this one right here. And then I couldn't hear the numbers that you described, but do you see it here? The one that you may have done?
I don't know. Can I show you after class or something? I don't know if I'm...
That's fine. You must have gotten it somewhere from this textbook, because this is... Hold on, let me make sure I zoom out. So there's 543, you can see on the upper right-hand corner. So I imagine that you probably just grabbed one of the questions that was adjacent to 104. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah. So the numbers are skewed, but you know what to do. That's the important part.
Okay, yeah. Thank you.
We can't hear you as well. Perfect. So we just hear you.
Professor, if you're talking, we can't hear you.
All right, can people hear me now?
Yeah, you good.
Yeah.
Okay, so thanks for speaking up. All right. So with the metric system, so you know what, this happened yesterday too, but I don't know if it was your class or someone else's class, but it definitely happened somewhere else. I don't know why there was a drop in audio. What I
I
don't
think
know
you got a phone
is,
call and then the audio just stopped.
oh, you know what? That's probably why. Yeah, I didn't think about that because it's supposed to, audio is supposed to switch immediately. So all I was going to comment was that this has happened before, and now I know the consistent theme is that there is an incoming call. What I don't know is, will the audio on WebEx know to continue me or hearing whatever? Okay, so don't worry, I didn't get that far. So metric system base timing changes are 10 at a time. 10 at a time. So again, you want 7 columns ready to write this out. So you have something like this. K, H, D. Some people call this unit here. We'll get to that in a moment. D, C. So these actually stand for something, right? If you can't wait, I can tell you what they stand for. Kilo, hecto, deca, deci, like decimeter, or decimal, centi, milli. And there's actually a mnemonic device that was taught by me by a colleague at FIT that's still there. So unit means a unit of measure in the metric system. And there's only 3 really. You got meters, grams, and liters. So what's the mnemonic device? Well, one of them, actually there's only one. And I never heard this before teaching this, so it goes something like this. It goes King Henry died unusually drinking choco milk. Or chocolate martinis, or cocaine martinis. I don't know. Concoctions motif, whatever you want to call it, right? It doesn't matter. The important thing is that you got the ordering important right here. These 3 correspond with those 3, and then these 3 correspond with those 3. And the unusually part stands for your unit of measure, whatever you may be talking about, in this case, meters, grams, liters, right? And then these actually have numerical values as well in terms of that 10 at a time, changing 10 at a time. So let me use a different color. So here, a kilo is 1,000 at a time. A hecto is 100 at a time. A deca is a 10 at a time. Deci is 1/10. But remember how we took the time when we first introduced I believe the percentage, if not the percentage, at the end of the decimal chapter, I showed you what it means to be a fraction, decimal, or percentage. So you know that 1/10 is the same thing as saying 0.1. A centi is 1/100th, or the same thing as saying 0.01. A milli is 1/1000th, which is the same thing as saying 0.001. All right. So how do you use this? You might understand this. You might see it. You might recognize it. You might go, okay, I understand what you're saying. I know what you're talking about. But how the hell does this help me? Well, it's easier with examples. So let's start with something simple. So here it is, and I'll keep it on the page here for example 1. So what's today's date? 21. So say I wanted something like this. I want to say convert 21 meters to decameters. So you see that the base unit right here is 21, but they want you to go to decameters, and the difference there is 10, right? So then all you do is you just take your 21 meters and how do you get from meters to decameters? Well, on this chart, you move left, right? Notice the movement goes from unit where the star is, and it goes to decameters up here. What does it mean when you move from right to left, or what does it mean when you move any placeholder in a number from left to right, right to left, whatever the case might be? Well, it means that you're moving a place value. So then if you're at 21 meters and you got to go to decameters, what it means is that you use the invisible decimal point that's right here and you move to the left one, just like that. So 2.1 meters is equal to 21 meters, I misspoke, is equivalent or equal to 2.1 decameters. And that's your answer. So the trick here is that, I'll write this out so people can have it. Note, the hint here is that find the decimal point in any number. So that's what I did first. I found the decimal point and move the number of placeholders where you are trying to convert. Now, I know that sounds vague, but we'll do some more examples, right? So you find the decimal point in any number, and you move the number of placeholders where you're trying to convert. Or in fact, you should say, and move the number of placeholders in the direction you're trying to convert. So again, there's our direction. I'll squeeze a little example down here again. So say you had, today is October, so say you had 1,021 kiloliters Nope, I spelled that wrong. And you want to convert to meters, or liters, I'm sorry. So you see that kiloliters, liters. So then you go, okay, where's my decimal point? The decimal point is right here. And then now when you're looking at this chart, right, where's kiloliters? It's on the far left. Where are regular liters? They're in the center. So you're moving from left to right. How many places are there between kilo, or in this case kiloliters, to the unit measure, which is liters? Or how many places do you have to move from kilo to get to liters? So start on the far left. How many spaces do you have to hop, or placeholders do you have to jump to get to the unit in the middle?
3.
It's 3, right? So then that means you just move the decimal point 3 on the same direction you're trying to achieve, which is in this case to the right. So then this becomes, so 1021 kiloliters becomes 1,021 comma 000. It's actually a million. Did I do that right? 1, 2, 3. Yep. Becomes regular liters there. Let's do one with a decimal number that's smaller. But yeah, that's the idea. And that's how the metric system is beyond easy. So there's that. Here's example 3. Don't worry, I'll rewrite this down so we don't have to keep on scrolling back and forth. So example 3 here. Let's say you had, oh, I don't know. You had 10.21 centigrams. You want to convert to decagrams. And again, your King Henry died unit drinking chocolate. So you're starting at, oh gosh, so I'm just purple here. You're starting here, and then you want to move to move here. So what do? Got 10.21. You locate the decimal. Whereas decameter in relationship to centimeter is to the left. How many units is that, or placeholders? It's also 3, but now you'll notice that you're going to the left instead. So you move it 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Right there, and then you have to add 0. So then this implies that you'll have 0.01021 decagrams. decagrams. Now, what's important about this? Here's a little hint I like to give people, so you know that you're on the right track of doing these problems correctly. Because these are supposed to be easy problems, especially come to final. So normally the way I like to describe it is that notice how if you move from kilo all the way to milli, what's happening in terms of value-wise? They're decreasing, right? So kilo is 1,000, hecto is 100, deca is 10, unit is 1 meter, 1 gram, 1 liter. And also you got 1/10, 100, 1,000. So numbers get smaller as you progress from left to right. And then essentially bigger when you progress from right to left. That's pretty awesome. Effect of one another essentially. So what can you do, or how can you use this to your advantage to make sure you're on the right track to answer the question? Well, here are additional hints I can give. So additional hints for, oh gosh, how should I say? For ensuring your conversion is correct. Right, so if you move from a big unit why can't I caps lock? That's weird. Caps lock, yeah, that's right. So if you move from a, I don't know why that's not working, big unit to a small unit, the numerical value, so you go from big to small. So say for example, you go to kilometers to meters. The numerical value, which means the number itself, not the value, because the overall value is the same, decreases. I'm sorry, increases. So let me demonstrate that. So I will italicize that. Small, I'll change it to small so that you can remember I'm talking small. So look at example 2. Notice how we went from 1,021 kiloliters and we're converting it to liters. And if you look at the chart here, you can see kilo is bigger than the unit of measure, liters. So notice how we went from a big unit to a small unit. And every time you do that, every single time you do that, you'll find the number, the numerical value increase. So you see we went from 1,021 kiloliters to 1,021,000 liters. So remember, these are equivalent values. They are the same in terms of information, right? In this case, volume. If you have 1,021 kiloliters, you have 1,021,000,000 liters. That's also the same thing as saying, like, if you have $5, you have 500 pennies. You don't all of a sudden go, oh my God, I have so much more money. I have 500. No, it's just the same value, but the numerical value, aka the number itself, it increases. So you can see there that 1,021 went to 1,021,000. Now, what about the other way around? If you move from a small unit to a big unit, the numerical value increases. So italicize that. Make small, small, so you know. So if you move from a small unit to a big unit, the numerical value decreases. And you can see that here too. See how we went from centigrams converted to decagrams. We went from centi, actually you can see right here in green, right? Far right side. I mean, not the absolute far, but far enough. And then it went to a bigger unit of measure, which is the deca. I didn't change the value. The value is still equivalent. It's just that it looks different because we're having a different unit of measure now. And you can see right there that it went from 10.21 to 0.01021. And as long as you remember these two aspects, when you're gliding, if you will, across the conversion chart, you'll be set every time, right? Just watch out for, I don't know, other weird things, but this itself, in itself, it's sufficient, all right? This is where I stopped in my previous class, because now the last thing we have to do is that now that we know how to convert among the US system, aka the imperial system, and you have now a base or foundation on how to not only read the metric system, but how to convert among or within the metric system, we now have to convert between the two. And it's not hard, it's just that it requires, remember how I asked on, I believe Monday I went, oh, who here took chemistry? And remember the canceling of units? Well, we're going to need that again, the canceling of units, so that we can hedge our way to understanding, all right? In the meantime, though, let me ask, what questions do we have here? We're almost done with the pre-algebra textbook, just as a heads up. Can anyone still hear me? I'm gonna go back to the chat.
We can hear you.
Okay, good. I was like, did I lose everyone again? All right. Yeah, sorry if my handwriting is all messy, so changes, yeah. All right. So let me upload this to Blackboard right now by sending it to your section. Oh, that's not good. Let's try again. Oh, it logged me out again. My access. Okay, here we go. So you guys are section notability, section 304. Yep, there you go. This is lecture 14 now. Okay, lecture 14, yep. So this is now successfully on Blackboard, uploaded for anybody need to reference again. Give the WebEx meetings a little bit of time to process, and then I will be uploading that video and the makeup video for the percentages. And then I will assign not a ton of homework, just enough so that you understand this stuff and the percentages that we haven't had a chance to do together yet. Okay. Other than that, thank you for your time and thank you for participating on the homework. It really helps out your understanding, and I get a better idea if people are really understanding it or not, or if people are just simply skipping, so that means you need more practice. As always, you're good to go once I dismiss you, and then I'm going to stay after in case anybody needs anything else or questions or whatever the case may be. I remember someone said like, oh, I could show you after class, whatever it is. But again, thanks for your time, and then I'll see you all next week. Just keep an eye out for emails as I update the class, okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. No worries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. I have
You're
a question.
welcome. Yeah,
So I'm not sure if I missed that on this, but did you say when our first exam is going to be?
Yeah, I said that we don't have an exact date because you're not going to sit during class time to do it. You're welcome, Olivia.
Okay.
You're not going to sit, nobody's going to sit during class to do it. What's going to happen is that either at the end of next week and it'll be in the announcement section and it'll be an email. It'll be every way and any way and every possible way that I can be in contact with everyone. And I'll say, here it is. You have a week to do it. Do it on your own. Do the best you can without referencing your notes. But obviously it's take home, right? You're already at home. It's at home. So I really can't stop that. But what I really do encourage is, of course, to work on your own because you have to be able to do the final on your own. And then you have a week to do it. And once you're done, you take pictures and you upload it to Blackboard. Or if Blackboard doesn't handle multiple images, I'll just have people email to me. That's all.
Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Not questions. Ellie, maybe question.
Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, so I don't know why I have different questions for some of them. So for you know how it said exercise 6.2 on
Yeah.
page 543.
Uh-huh.
All of my 104, 105, all of them are different. And I don't know why.
Did you grab the textbook from Blackboard or the link that's in the homework Google Doc?
I used the link.
That's why.
Really?
Yeah, because it turns out that I'm using it's the same creator or free open source book. The issue is that what I have are
I just lost you.
lectures and the pacing and everything is based off of their first version. The link version that you have is a updated version the textbook has or the website has posted online, and I just haven't had a chance to do that yet because of the short time. So
Okay, because most of my quick questions I got right, and that whole section I got wrong. I was I thought I was doing this right, but then you went over wrong.
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah, if you're definitely, I get your emails all the time, and I hope I'm responding to them on a timely manner.
Yeah,
Sometimes you catch me at a part where I don't look at it for 3-4 hours straight because I'm at work or whatnot. But yeah, you're clearly on top of it. I can see that you're participating and you clearly don't want to take this class again. You want to pass it. So the fact that you're doing everything right and then all of a sudden a whole section you just kind of blow out and tank it, nah, that's very rarely a reflection on you. So thanks for letting me know. I did put that link there on purpose because I'm going to update it soon, but I just remind everyone to, hey, just go off of the textbook that's in Blackboard itself because it corresponds with other things we do aside from homework. That's why.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounds good. But yeah, no, you are by far one of a good professor when it comes to responding. A lot of my professors won't respond at all.
Nothing at all?
No.
Are you a first year, if I may ask?
Uh-huh.
You are? Okay. That's really upsetting
and
because
even some of my freshman classes, I don't know. It's all freshmen, and I had to contact Albert. I think that's what his name is, Romano or whatever. I don't know. It was just it was so bad. I was getting so many I had so many questions for this class, and my grade was going down because of it. And this lady she's I have so many emails, so I can't even respond to anybody's. And we're like, what?
Wow, so your grade was going down and you couldn't even get an answer as to why it was going down.
Yeah. So then I contacted
that's insane.
her and asked her, or asked him, can you please talk to this professor? My grade's bad because of it. And so then she did, and she sent out a huge email to everybody, and which kind of answered it, which was good. But she still won't. She gives us an hour after class, but
Mhm.
some of the assignments take like 4 hours.
Oh yeah.
And then when you get
Yeah.
to that, you can't ask because she
No.
said she's done.
Right. Yeah, I wish I can give more homework or longer homework or something like that. But the point is that we're in a state where if you're a freshman, that means you wrapped up your senior year in high school mid-pandemic, right, where you converted to online. So that was already weird enough. So what people need to realize is that yes, I want to teach as much as I can. I want to get through all the material, but I can't expect the same type of work output because people are adjusting. People, let's face it, people are lazy at home. They're not going to be able to do everything that they normally would be able to do. So
Yeah.
there's still a clear expectation to go like, hey, you have to do your work, right? You have to write down your homework. You got to do it paper and like there's like the foundation of a math class, right? But then I can't expect like even I'm slow with uploading some of the stuff that I'm doing, and it's like, well, holy crap, I didn't do this right, or I didn't do this correctly. I forgot to record on WebEx. It's just I really should just use Zoom and just ignore what the department or policy says because Zoom auto records every single time. So maybe next semester I'm just gonna be like, hey, I'm using Zoom, but don't tell anyone or else I'm gonna get in trouble and I'm gonna fail you for ratting me out type of thing. So
Yeah.
it's just that type of thing because then that's that. But yeah, you've been doing a great job of keeping me on track. I appreciate it. I don't know if you can tell from my emails, but yes, keep me on track, keep me on my shit so that I can do well for you and everyone else.
Okay, sounds good. And then so I'm like in Kaufman right now, and we have to move on like November 25th, I think.
Oh yeah, I read the email about that. Yeah. They had to fire everybody basically.
Yeah. So we all have to move that day, and I have class that day. So I also have to take a flight home. And
Where's
my
home,
flight
if I may ask?
well, my home's in Minnesota.
Oh, you're from Minnesota. How cute.
Yeah. Wait, did you say you are?
Me? What?
Did you say you are?
No, I'm not from Minnesota. I was just saying
Oh,
that's cute. Sorry.
no, that's
Burst
fine.
your bubble.
But that's okay. But I actually, I have to take a flight, and it's at 4 or something. So I
That's
think I'm
fine.
gonna do the earlier one, but then I have to take like a train to Penn Station. So I'll be on. I'll figure it out. I just was gonna like let you know when that time comes.
Are you flying out of JFK? JFK, right?
Like Newark.
Oh, you're flying out of Newark. Okay. So
Yeah.
the good news is, are you familiar with how to fly out of Newark from Penn Station?
I'm not.
Okay. So I can walk you through that if you need to know how to do that or anything of that nature. Wait, the 26th? Hold on, let me check the calendar. When is that?
I
That's
think
next week, isn't it?
it's of November. Sorry, the 25th. Yeah.
25th. That's Sunday.
I think it's a Wednesday, the 25th of November.
Oh, November. I'm sorry. I thought you meant off October.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
we
you
leave
know
the
what?
day before.
The 25th? Oh, okay. Oh, they're giving you a lot of time before they have to kick you out.
Yeah.
But then after you get out before Thanksgiving, you're not coming back, right?
Yeah, no, we don't come back until next semester, but I feel like the chances of us actually having in-person classes.
Oh, it's not going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen,
Yeah.
which is kind of a drag for starting your freshman year. But it's actually kind of the best thing to be in your freshman year or even finishing up high school because at least in high school, you're wrapping up an environment you're already familiar with. This is kind of difficult transitioning wise because you're stuck in this online environment. But the good news is that since you're at the very, very beginning of your university career, you know that it's not going to be 4 years of COVID pandemic or mid-pandemic. You know that someone's going to work on a vaccine, something is going to be happening soon so that you're not stuck like this,
Yeah.
But most of the time, I'm going to tell you in advance right now because I normally do this every semester. When I'm in the fall, I normally give almost that whole week off of classes. So maybe Monday we'll meet for sure, but that Wednesday before Thanksgiving, I normally just cancel class. So don't worry about that too much. But thanks for letting me know, though.
Yeah, I just had class that morning, so I would have been like back to back, and then like trying
Yeah.
to. I take the Amtrak to Newark from Penn, I think, right?
You can take the Penn. You can do that, but that's harder. Just take the New Jersey Transit. I can walk you through this. Don't worry.
Oh, really?
Send me
Okay,
an
I will contact you beforehand because
Yeah,
I
just
mean, I
send me an
but
Mhm.
like,
Send me an email and I'll walk you through everything. And it's super easy. And you can even download an app, and you don't need to mess with going to the machine or a prompter or anything. It's super easy. I can help you with that.
okay, sounds good.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Take care of yourself.
Okay, you too. Bye.